This one LinkedIn funnel booked over 40 calls for my agency in just the last 7 days. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps so that you can do the same. I'll walk you through the content, the email and opt-ins, and the entire pre-call sequences that I use to make sure that clients show up for these calls. So let's get to that right now. So first of all, just to give a little context on what type of content I'm posting. So for the most part, I am posting just regular content that you might see on LinkedIn. Value content, going over like strategies, going over results that we've gotten for clients, going over my opinions on stuff relevant to my industry. And this is all content that is beginning to nurture my audience. It's beginning also to build a stronger audience. And then what we do from there is we put out lead magnets. So 2 to 3 times a week, we are putting out these magnets to attract your ideal audience and also just spread awareness, because lead magnets are like, you have to comment to receive the document or the giveaway, whatever it might be. It's an easy way to kind of game LinkedIn's algorithm by saying, hey, we're getting a bunch of engagement on this post, continue to spread it, because people have to comment. It's an easy way to spread engagement and get awareness onto your service or product or whatever it might be. So like right here on this left side here, you can see that I put out a post today, just talking about like one of my clients that I was talking to, and then what I was gonna, like the strategy I was going to implement for them. But then you see right over here, you can see this lead magnet right here. And what we had in it, this one didn't perform super well actually, but it did actually bring in a few booked calls for my agency still. But we went over like this LinkedIn call funnel booked 30 calls last month. Here's the exact system. We kind of went over like what's in it, why most people fail, and then like what you should kind of do instead. And that's what's going to be in the document. And then I give a super simple, like, connect with me, comment calls, and I'm going to DM it to you as quick as possible when I get a chance. And that's exactly what people do. People comment down here and I send them the resource. So another example of one of these that I gave away, I'm going to go back a little ways because one of these did a lot better. That almost booked in, I believe, 15 calls from my agency just in one day. This one right here. So this one didn't even do like super well, but because it's such a high quality document that I'm giving away, the people that are opting in are seeing how much value I provide and are going forward with booking a call. And it's not just as simple. It's not just as simple as just sending them the document. Like, you have to have a funnel set up in place to really convert them, because otherwise people are just going to read your document and not take any action. Maybe like 1 or 2 might, but for the most part, they are not. So that's why you need to have the funnel that I'm going to continue to talk about after this, that is going to be able to help you book calls for your agency. So in this one, I talk about, I've analyzed 577,000 LinkedIn posts. But here's what nobody's telling you about LinkedIn or viral posts in 2025. So I call out the problems. No one's doing these things. No one's talking about these things. These are the things that you need to focus on. And then I go over like what you're going to receive in this document. You have 5 parts right here that I mentioned, and then I said there's 7 more parts. Like, the perceived value is so high on this. And then all you need to do, like the other one, is connect with me, comment, and then get going on that basically. And then I send them the document. And what I send in this document is basically like, here's access to, for this example, the complete LinkedIn growth and engagement guide for 2025. And then I send a link to an email opt-in. In that email opt-in, I'll show you what that kind of looks like here. They will click, and this is what it will lead them to, that, or it will lead them to this link. I have a super simple kit page that I've sent up. Like, this really does not matter as long as you just don't like completely screw it up. Just put exactly what they're going to receive. Put the title, put access below, and kind of what they're going to receive. And then I just write down here, you might not see this fully, but you can see what all of the parts that are included in it. Little picture of like what the document actually looks like. And then they can sign up for this. So it's super simple, straightforward. I add a few colors that are along with it. But for the most part, it is just it's as frictionless as possible so that people are going to sign up no matter what. So they have commented on my lead magnet. I've sent them this document. They clicked on it, and then they're just going to sign up with, I just have it set up, first name and then their email. I've considered doing company name, but not everyone that's opting in does have a company or wants to share the company. So it adds a little bit more friction, which is exactly what we don't want. So once people add their email, their first name, you click access now, and it immediately sends them to an offer page. So what I have on here is check your email. And lastly, learn the exact strategy we've used to help founders nurture and convert their audience into booked calls. And then this is just my VSL with a link to book a call or to fill out the form to book a call. And then it gets right into it right away. It's the most simple, straightforward page, but it is great because people's intent is super high in the first 3 to 7 days, or actually from the first time they opt in, the first 3 days are the highest. And then you have until the 7th day to really convert them. Otherwise, for the most part, they are not going to ever book a call with you unless their business drastically changes or something drastically changes. So that is what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to get people that have intent on receiving my part of my service in a way. They are going to opt into this newsletter, and I send them to this page. If they have more questions that my VSL maybe didn't answer, then they click on here, and it leads them right to this is my website. It leads them right to my website. So this is what the offer page looks like that immediately sends them, or once they click access, it sends them to this. And then their access, like you could see in here, it says check your email. That is where I send them access. So in that email, basically I'm saying like, hey, confirm your subscription. Once you confirm your subscription, it will redirect you to the link to the actual lead magnet, whatever that might look like. So I try to keep it, once again, as simple as possible. This is a little bit more friction, but it's worth it because I am trying to convert that intent into a booked call. Secondly, what do these emails look like after they've signed up for the document? Because after they receive the document, I send them into this 3 email sequence. It's automatically automated with Kit. They opt in, automatically gets added to the sequence where these 3 emails right here get sent out to them. These 3 emails, the whole purpose of them is to nurture and book a call immediately. So you can kind of see a little bit of what I talk about in here. I used prior sales transcripts to discover what are the most common objections or problems or pain points that my clients have. And then I wrote emails around the 3 most common problems, pain points, or objections. So that people will be more likely to convert because most likely they're going to be facing one of these problems. Most people don't see the ROI of content at all. So what ROI can they actually expect? And then immediately down here, you can see there's a strategy call. And each one of these is selling the strategy call. Book a call if you have any one of these problems and you don't have the time to go fix it, or you don't want to go and fix it, or you don't know how. And that's what I go over in these 3, or in this 3 sequence of emails. Like I said, the first 3 days are the most important. And then after that, then I just start sending them general emails. I don't have I don't have a sequence that's set up for that, simply because the emails that I just send out on a regular basis are what they're going to receive. And in some of those are sales emails, and we'll be able to convert them. But for the first 3 days, this is what it looks like. I'm not going to go into all these. That's a little bit of secret stuff that I'm going to keep for myself and clients. And then secondly, after they've booked a call, this is getting into the pre-call sequence. They've booked in a call with you. Awesome. But now we need to make sure they actually show up to the call. So what I've done, and I have learned from one of my mentors actually, is we have a 10 email sequence set up that sends 2 emails every single day until the call date. This is another automation we've sent up. And each one of these emails is very similar to our 3 email sequence. It goes over the most common pain points that our clients usually face, or leads usually face, and the objections that they usually have. Each email goes over one step of that and is bringing them closer and closer to being a client because they don't have as many questions on the call. They don't need to go and think about anything after because we've already pre-qualified them. They're already, or not just pre-qualified, we pre-nurtured them to be ready so that when I go into my pitch after seeing that they're the right fit for me, they're already ready to buy. It's such a simpler sale by doing this pre-call sequence. So this is the sequences and the funnel that I use actually for setting up a LinkedIn funnel that booked me over 40 calls like I showed earlier. And if you do enough lead magnets, if you do enough volume, if you do 2 to 3 lead magnets a day and post every single day on LinkedIn, you're going to be able to book yourself 20 to 30 calls pretty easily after you kind of gain that initial momentum of people kind of going on your account and being able to understand what makes lead magnets do well, the angles that you the angles that work well for your offer in your industry, because it does change a little bit. And that's how that looks. I'm going to take a second right here too to show you the actual lead magnet that I send to them, just so you can kind of get an idea of how this might look. And then, yeah, if you have any more questions, and put them in the comments down below. And if you want us to implement this system 100% done for you, go to the link below and book a call with us, and we'll see if you're a right fit for us. We'll explain our process just like this. You'll get access pretty much to this as soon as you book a call. So yeah, that's all I got for you today, outside of presenting an offer to you. But let's get into the actual lead magnet real quick before I end this video. Okay, so this was access to the lead magnet that I showed you guys earlier, and this is what people would receive when they actually signed up. So you get all of the parts. It goes down the entire guide. It's a super simple Notion system that's set up. Like I said before, I tested a bunch of other things like Google Docs. Those work well. I've tried more extravagant things such as setting up like a video funnel using like Gumroad. There's other courses that I've tried. It's just the simplest, just to give them the document though. Put the text out there. They don't really care. A lot of people don't even read it. So just make it as straightforward as possible, so to remove as much friction as possible, so they can see right down here, once again, presenting our offer again, because that's the most important thing. Obviously giving value, they can receive the value. They can see that you've done, or you know what you're doing. But then presenting the offer is the second most important thing after that. We'll build you a fully done for you content and outbound system that generates you 10 plus leads a month from LinkedIn. They click this link, it leads them right to the form that we have for them, and kind of just reintroduces them back into our funnel again. And obviously books them in a call. That's the most important thing. But after you've provided this much value, it's very important to use that to actually convert them. But like, as you can see, like here, super simple, straightforward. I have a few phases in here that I'm talking about, like of what to, or of how the algorithm actually operates. We go over content types, stuff like that. So you can kind of imagine this if you're in a different industry, which you most likely are. Just switch this guide around for kind of giving an overview of what your industry looks like, how you can dominate in your industry, basically, or the industry, or the for the service basically that you're providing for them. Because if you give so much value, people are going to be like, this is so much value. I cannot do this myself. There's no way. Then they're going to go book a call with you. It's very important also, this will be the last thing, to have a form before booking in the call, because that is going to pre-qualify a ton of people that are just the people looking for freebies. They want free content, they want this free lead magnet, and they just want a free strategy call. So it is going to qualify them. So you're only taking calls with qualified people. And in this form, like asking stuff such as like revenue, industry that they're in, and obviously like you can get their company page and stuff just to make sure they have a legitimate like website, stuff like that. That is very important, and is going to help you convert at a way higher rate on your sales calls and actually make you enjoy them. So yeah, that's all I got for you. Like I said before, go down below, post a comment if you have one. I'll be happy to get to you as quick as possible. And then if you want access to our fully done for you content and outbound offer, click below, fill out the form, and book a call, and we will discuss exactly kind of what we went over here. So yeah, hope you have a great day. Hope this was helpful. See you later.